the 28th of April 2018 and I've eventually got my act together to get, oh heavens, I've got to watch this mic, to get down here and get enough stuff done to put on a video because, and I promised myself I wouldn't talk about the weather too much, we just haven't had weather that inspires me to come and do anything. Whenever we have had a little bit of weather, I've run down, done a little bit of something and then gone home again and had a good warm up. But so I haven't actually been spending hours at a time down here, just really because I'm quite nesh. But what I have done, I'm going to catch up with you today. I'll show you what we have done. So we've managed to keep on top of, we've done things like the strawberry bed. The herbs have moved around, which I'm very pleased about. Broad beans are doing well. I'll show you them. I'll show you what's going on in the fruit cage. But the main thing today, the exciting thing, is to show you just what Mike does with his nettle I've given it away. His potato trenches. A little bit of a clue there. So yeah, I think we need to get going and get warmed up. Okay. The rhubarb never fails. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at this. Look at that in there. Gorgeous. And I haven't picked any yet, so I'm going to pick some and bake something, I think. But the other plant, look at that. It's actually about to flower. So to me, if I take, look at it, I mean, it's an incredible thing. If I take that stalk out there, I'm a bit worried about damaging the plant, to be honest. Look, it's got another flower there. But I know once it's flowered, the plant will die because it's done its job. What would you do? Would you leave that on and sacrifice this rhubarb for the year? Or would you take it off? I think I'll probably take it off. We have got plenty. Okay, and Mike is off for his search of nettles, which fortunately are never very elusive. So we've been using comfrey to line the potato trenches, but now we've got our, I'll show you that saw in a minute. Now we've run out of comfrey, so we're off for some fresh nettles. Mike, can you just show us that saw? Just show us that saw, please.
It's a handy tool.
Yeah, that is tetanus.
Not very sharp.
Tetanus in a saw, isn't it really? But it'll do for this job.
And we haven't got a scythe or anything like that, so
No,
it just cuts the tops of the nettles off quite quickly.
Okay, come on, Mikey. Good grief, it does the job. Look at that.
As well, which I'm not sure about the benefits of.
Yeah. This here that Mike's just under here, that the nettles are under, is the communal plum tree, which it looks like, if we look at the blossoms, going to be absolutely beautiful this year. We always manage to get a good bag or two of plums from there, as do the rest of the people on the allotments. But it looks like it's going to be giving a good harvest again this year. Right, there we go then. So we've got the tips of the nettles.
With a few other things in. Mainly nettles.
Let's hope there's nothing poisonous in there, but right.
And then the next part of the technique is this.
Hold on, hold on. This is the what we call the nettle dance. Okay. Okay. So you're mashing them up.
Yep. And then they're going to line the trench.
Poor nettles.
Oh, well, a little bit anyway, smashed a bit. That should help it break down a little bit more quickly, maybe. What we could be doing here, of course, is just planting a whole line of nettles, can we?
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
Well, you know. Nettle soup.
Yes.
We've had a couple of raised eyebrows from the neighbours, but you know, there you go.
Very sceptical about this.
There you go. It's just a green mulch, isn't it? You know, and anything you add is going to be good. Just make sure you haven't got anything.
Maybe not that. I wouldn't put that in.
No, don't put any nettle roots in. That would be a bad thing. Okay, but yeah, the tips and everything are going to be okay. And look, there we've got little bed of nettles. for our little late potatoes.
How's that?
Perfect.
Okay.
Something I'm really pleased with this year is because I didn't go mad and cut all the fruiting branches off, I've actually got fruit on my fruit trees. Which is a bonus, one might say. Look, I've got my goosey dogs. Look how many are on there. And the tree or the bush is absolutely heaving with them. Really, really pleased with that. But also, look, can you see the currants? Oh, don't look that way lies nettles. But look at the currants. Really pleased with those. I've not had any. I think I got 3, I said, last year. So yeah, the currants, gooseberries. Oh, let's see if I can get up. We've got more along here. Now one of these is a red currant and one is a black currant, and I won't know until they fruit which is which because I haven't labelled them, but really excited about them. I've never actually had a currant harvest, so something to look forward to this year, if nothing else. Oh, it's getting really windy now, but I just wanted to show you the raspberries that still haven't all been cleaned up. I've still got the branches, look, these are all the branches I cut off. They're coming really well, but as we all know about raspberries, let me just show you, they walk. Look at this. Look at this little fella coming up here. So, keep an eye out. Make sure they don't go astray. Now, I've completely ruined that now by just pulling the top off, but I will come back to that. This all needs doing, this pot. I will come back to that and dig that up though, because, oh look, there's another one. Everywhere. And they are beautiful, but you only want so many. Okay, so, well, while we're here, this is our squash bed to be. We've got a little bit of work on our hands, but we'll get there. Last year's strawberry bed. This year's strawberry bed. Okay, so this bed last year, I think it had peppers in and onions, and it was a bit of a mishmash of things. What we've done, we've just, because this one's been going now for about 3 years and it isn't very productive, apart from the weeds that you can see at the moment, we took out the half decent sized plants from there and I've put them in here. But to be honest, I'm tempted to fill in the gaps. I know that's probably the correct spacing that they're in there, but if you look at the old bed, look, I mean, we don't want to put the too old plants in, because once they're past 3 years they're past their best. But there's some really lovely plants in here, so it might be the case that we take these up and move them across, or it might be the case that, look, there's more over there, look. It might be the case that we just leave them in here, get the main of the weeds out and just see what happens to them this year. I think the way things are going this year, they'll probably just get left, but yeah, hopefully a better strawberry crop, because these have definitely got room now, they've got decent soil, and if you think, I'm going to show you again, there was a huge conifer there, huge, that was shading the strawberry bed and has been for the last couple of years. Well, that's gone. So this should now be getting a decent amount of sunshine, which is what it needs. So yeah, another fingers crossed. Just looking at the back of the pond bit here, which again, I know needs a good clean up. I've got some foxgloves coming here. I know they're foxgloves because I can remember them from the last couple of years. But then I've got this monster. I've got a feeling it's verbascum, but I can't quite remember it. I'm going to have to look back at pictures from last year. So that'll be quite interesting. I know it's a flower and I will have put it in, but yeah, Any advance on verbascum? One thing I am really pleased that I've got done now is that I've managed to split and transplant my herbs. These chives are looking a bit sorry for themselves, but I've managed to split them, get them in. Marjoram, I'll take anywhere, that's good. English mace, round the bike. St John's wort, bronze fennel, and then we've got these parsnips which just seem to have seeded from last year, and I've put in a few sticks from the sage which is over there. I remember that sage was absolutely beautiful last year, but again it's getting really woody now. It's a few years old, so I'll just see if they take. If they don't, they don't, but it's worth a try. What that does mean though, I want to fill these gaps in with some herb seed, so I'm going to do some direct sowing. I'm going to go through my seed in a minute and see what will go in. So I'm going to do, even though it's a bit cold at the moment, I'm going to do some direct sowing of seeds and cover them with a little cloche just for a bit of protection. What that also means though is I've got this. Look at this. This was the herb bed. Can you remember? You probably can't remember just how overgrown that was. Now we've got a perfect bit of space for, I don't know, what is it, 5 foot by 3, 6, about 5 foot by 6, maybe slightly less, for growing something in. It's got good soil. I tell you what, it was full of mint roots though, even though I'd planted that mint in the pot. Oh good grief, when I turned the soil it took forever to get them out, and there's probably still loads in there. What do you put in it? Mike's idea is to put a nice little pear tree, have it low maintenance, nice little pear tree in the middle, keep it small. But it could be an asparagus bed, it could be just for roots, it could be for sundries, listen to me, lettuce and bits and pieces, salad crops, that sort of thing. What would you do? Let me know. Okay, let me just show you these. These are purple podded peas, heritage seeds, grow up to 8 foot tall. Okay, and these were sent to me by, Mike's very impressed, these were sent to me by Debbie Love a while ago now, and Debbie suggested that I plant them around the bike wheels, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm really excited about these. Again, it's a case of growing something you wouldn't automatically otherwise have gone out and bought or thought about, and someone sends it as a recommendation. And look, these seeds are just beautiful. These are Debbie's own seeds, and you can see, can we see there? That little tiny bit there is going to grow an 8 foot plant. So Debbie, this is for you. I am going to, oh, I'm standing on soil, I shouldn't be standing on soil, plant them around the base of the bike in the herb bed. Okay, because Debbie does say, she said the peas might not be so flavoursome, but the flowers are beautiful, so it's somewhere where we're going to be able to sit and enjoy them. So I know you can't see my head. Can I just point out, this is actually the microphone. This isn't a medical emergency or anything like that. You know, it's this stupid recording thing. Honestly, there's got to be a better way, but at least I've got a pocket to put it in. Right, okay. All I'm going to do with these, and I am going to stand on the soil, all I'm going to do with these, simply, again, pop my finger in, pop in a pea, pop my finger in, pop in a pea, finger, pea, finger, pea. I'm not looking at spacings, I'm not looking at anything like that, because I think this soil is a good soil. I think, oh, if they're going to come, they're going to come. And they will be absolutely beautiful. What an absolute treat. Okay, I'm going to do a second circle. Of course, you can't see any of this over there, but believe me, I am doing this. And then simply peek, peek. Ooh, rogue peek, peek. Songs about peas. There we go. There we go. And that is the peas planted. So I'm going to put a little label on that. I've got oh heavens, I've got loads of peas left in my little pea packet. So I am going to put these in as well. I think along the fence between us and the neighbours. And yeah, really excited about them. It's something new. I have had to come in the shed now. I am still cold. I have not warmed up. It's that sort of, it's not that cold, but I don't know, it feels damp. My bones feel cold. So anyway, yes, I've come in. And as I say, today it's just been a case of a bit of catch up, a bit of saying hello. And to be honest, I've found it quite difficult to get going this year. And I think a large part of that is down to the weather. Although I was looking in my book, and this is why, as I always say, keep a diary, any sort of diary, if you can. Because I was looking in this before just to see what it was like this time last year. And actually it was fairly similar, but significantly 2 years ago, April the 30th, 2 years ago, so 2 years ago, all but a day, it was snowing. So it just goes to show, you know, we feel like we've had it bad this year. I think we just haven't had the breaks in between that we normally have. And so yeah, but it is cold and it doesn't inspire me anyway to come down. I know a lot of you are very, very good and keep going. What I have found is that we've been caught out because we didn't prepare much of our stuff. We didn't prepare many of our beds anyway before the winter set in, because we don't usually need to. We can usually just leave them fallow over the winter and then get onto them in the spring. But spring being absent this year, we're still playing catch up. Anyway, enough of the moaning. Or is it? I don't know. Strawberries are done, potatoes at last are in. We still haven't got all the onions in, largely due to the fact that we still haven't completed that bed. So that is a job for another day. Hopefully we've got a bit of warmish weather this week. At least the evenings are getting lighter now. Someone pointed out that it won't be long before we reach the longest day and they start getting shorter again, but we'll ignore that for now. But they are getting longer, so it means that we can come down in the evening as well as during the day. And yeah, but at the moment we're sort of just rushing out here as soon as we can. Anyway, I'm going on, I'm waffling. Let me tell you, I've had a birthday since I was last here. Another year older, certainly not another year wiser, but anyway, as you do, someone asks you, what do you want for your birthday? Garden tools, obviously garden tools. So most people refuse to do that because they think I'm winding them up for whatever reason. They want a garden tool for their birthday. I do. In fact, what I particularly requested was one of those, I don't know if I've got the pronunciation right, hori knives, trowels. Those like Japanese trowels that are serrated down the side, very good for digging and just all sorts of stuff. And my daughter in particular refused to get me one of those, saying she was not going to buy me a Japanese weapon for my birthday. She'd rather buy me a rose instead, which she did, and it's lovely, but I still want one. But my present to myself with some of my birthday money was one of these. Careful, I don't take someone's eye out. Whoa! Stirrupose. You can see it's been used. Actually, look at that. It's been used and not cleaned. Guilty. Which is one of these hose that. Let me see. I'll see if I can do this sitting down. Here's the thing. Without my glasses on. I have to put my. Ow! I have to put my glasses on. I'm a danger. You know, that's why they keep me in the shed, because I'm a danger. I can't do it because my shed's not big enough. But basically, if you can see, into all sorts, you push it forward and it hose that way, but as you pull it back, it hose that way as well. So you are getting the weeding action on both the push and the pull, I'm going to have to put this down. do damage to something. So that was a really good demonstration. Yeah, so basically you push and you pull and it weeds both ways rather than you just weeding one way as you push. So it's been really effective. I've enjoyed using that. I think Mike has as well, which is why it's covered in mud and needs cleaning up before it gets hung up again. But yeah, that was good. That was good. That's been a positive thing. So I think as long as I'm still thinking about gardening gifts for my birthdays and Christmas and things like that, I've obviously still got a bit of the gardening spark there. It's taken a while to come, I'll be honest, it has taken a while to come this year, but we'll get there. Yeah, onions have got to come. The squash I haven't even started yet. Again, that whole bed needs preparing. It won't take long, we just need to have an hour or two of decent weather. And when I say decent weather, not just an isolated patch, but it's no good having an hour or two of sunshine if it's been bucketing down all morning, because the soil's just too wet to play with. So we need to get the squash patch done. I'm not stressing about that yet. We're fine with that at the moment. Haven't got the runner beans or anything else up yet. The only things I've got in actually are the broad beans. Love those though, so I'm glad they're in. And of course now I've got the purple podded peas in as well. Oh, and might put some main crop peas in. So they're in, they're sorted. So yeah, I think our next jobs will be onions, beans, squash, in that order. And I am going to have to start organising myself, because then it's going to be a case of getting all the stuff out the greenhouse in as well. I don't know. Anyway, funny old video this week. Hope it's not been too long. Hope it's not been too boring. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed, and to those of you who leave lovely comments. It's so nice, you know, because, you know, I'm just someone who's sitting in my shed talking to myself, but it's nice to think, it's nice to think there's someone out there listening. Yeah, that's it for this week, and hopefully it won't be another whatever it was this time, 3-4 weeks before we get back again, because we'll have some half decent weather and we'll be able to get stuff done. But meanwhile, keep your chin up, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.